My guest today is Jalem Richards. Jalem is a pro detailer from the Montreal area. Jalem is also a viewer of the Detailing Dogma channel. Jalem is a smart and very hungry young man. In this episode, we meet for the first time and we get to know each other. Jalem talks about his start in detailing, his love for polishing paint, deceptive dealership work, and much more. Hope you enjoy this one. Cool, man. So you're in the South Shore of Montreal, right?
Yeah, South Shore side there, mainly towards like Brossard, Candiac,
Mm-hmm.
Delson, Saint Constant, Saint Catherine. You know where the Kanawaki is there near the Mercier
Yeah.
Bridge? Yeah, around that area there.
That's good. So let's start off with my first question for you. Do you have any advice for a beginner detailer? Can be anything from applying coatings or just detailing in general.
Practice. Practice
Practice.
a lot. Yeah, that's what I did. I just kept practicing. I failed a lot of times. I thought about quitting a lot of times too, but I'm not a quitter, so I just keep going. And again, I'm not perfect, but I've gotten a lot better from when I started before. But never give up. Just keep going. You never know. So a lot of practice, especially when it comes to paint correction. A lot of practice.
Yeah. So we learn from our mistakes.
Oh, for sure. I learned from
Yeah.
plenty of mistakes.
Try to avoid the big one.
Oh yeah, I've never burnt through paint though. Not
Never.
once. Nope, never. Surprisingly,
Okay.
but like I have not finished down paint properly because I would use like a DA when I first started with like a microfiber pad and like, oh, it looks good, but in the direct sunlight you can see the haze in the paint.
Yes.
But now that doesn't happen, obviously. But like I said, you just gotta practice and learn the paint system, what pads to use, and you gotta find what works for you. Obviously, YouTube is a very good teacher. That's how I learned. I did go to school for detailing, but personally, I learned a lot more from YouTube than from anything else. And of course, practicing, like I said.
And which YouTube channel would you say that gave you most knowledge?
When it comes to washing, decontaminating, I'm gonna have to go with DIY detail. I'm gonna be honest. Ivan is a genius. He's taught me a lot, especially with rinseless washing. Like I don't know, understand how it works, but it just works, and I love it, and that's mainly what I use. And when it comes to paint correction and compounds and polish, I'm gonna have to go with someone that's actually on Instagram. Goes with the name Pete Details. Uh, he's the guy that taught me how to use the rotary polisher how to cut. Because at
Okay.
first I used the DA, so I do have the Milwaukee DA. I do have the Flex there, the small one. I think it's the PX80 there.
Yeah.
Uh, I use those like the PX for small areas and stuff like that. But I feel like me personally, it doesn't cut enough. So I was trying to figure out how can I get the most cut in a short amount of time. So then I was just looking on the internet, YouTube and stuff like that. And then I came across him. I think his YouTube, his Instagram page, and I was just watching all his stuff. Then he had a subscription thing, and me, I'm not a fan of that. But I was like, the stuff that he's showing, I couldn't believe it. So I was like, why not just take a gamble? I want to be better at what I'm doing. So I did, and I learned, and he's completely changed the game for me personally. When it comes to paint correction with the rotary, it's a night and day difference from DA to rotary, in my opinion, from learning from him.
That's awesome, man. I'll have to check him out after this.
Oh, it's
So
amazing.
that's cool, man. So I'm probably gonna get the new rotary from Flex, the 24 volt.
Yeah, I've seen that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
My only problem with the Milwaukee one is the battery placement, in my opinion. I wish it was to the side like everyone else's VAs there and the rotaries there. But the Flex I heard is very good, and I've seen a lot of reviews on it. But I'm not gonna. I already have a bunch of Milwaukee stuff, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense. The Milwaukee works perfectly fine for me. It's not heavy for me. Neither is the DA. With the 6 amp battery, Joe, I don't like it because it's too heavy, in my opinion. A lot of people say that too. A lot of people say you need the 6 amp or the 8 amp even for these machines here. But me personally, other than like the runtime, I don't really see a difference. Uh, a 5 amp works perfectly fine for both, in my opinion too. I do have a rapid charger, so it does charge the battery faster. Like the battery will be charged before the battery dies on the machine there. So
That's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. So it's never like, oh, I gotta wait now and sit there and wait for the battery to charge before
Yeah, no.
swapping it, but never happens. I take breaks and whatnot, you know.
Wipe off the door jams,
Exactly,
clean
all
the
that stuff.
windows.
Exactly, all that stuff. So the battery will charge before that, and I've been doing this for like with the Milwaukee's now for like 5 months now. Haven't had any issues. Um,
Yeah,
Perfectly
that's
fine,
good.
very good machines. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have a rotary yet. Like you, I have the Flex PXC80.
yeah,
I have with the rotary attachment. I have some extension as well.
yeah.
But I'm gonna pull the trigger. I almost bought the ShineMate rotary corded,
Oh, I did, yeah.
I don't want to I don't want to have any cords anymore
Yeah,
for
I'm
my
the same
garage.
way. The same way. I
Yeah,
hate cords. Battery technology is advanced now, so I think it can keep up. Yes, it's annoying you have to switch it out here and there, but I'd rather switch it out than deal with a cord all the time, in my opinion. Again.
yeah. The only downside is the weight. I have to pay attention to the
Yeah,
weight. That yeah,
exactly. Yeah, there's a little bit
the,
more weight for sure.
yeah, that's the thing. So I want to go back to what you said about you went to school. So how did you get into the detailing game? How did you the passion came
The
in?
passion. Okay, so about actually it's coming on 4 years ago. I bought a 2015 Honda Civic Si, bone stock. I mean, I did have not coilovers, springs, lowering springs on it, and it actually got me into working on cars too because I do mechanics also on the side. So I bought that car, and my first thing was I don't want anyone touching it. When it comes to mechanics, comes to washing it, detailing. So I started off with that. Um, I got that car, and then after my friend I worked with at the time, doing like car wash and stuff like that, he told me about the school there in Montreal North. I forgot the name, automobile something. I'm not sure. I forgot. It was a long time. It was like 3, 4 years ago. Then we went there, and then after we learned, it was like a 3 week program.
Mhm.
3 weeks wasn't enough, in my opinion. But after that, it was good. Got started. That's when I met the guy at Detail Lab. I bought one of his machines that I still have to this day.
Jean-Sébastien,
Exactly, yeah. So I
good.
met him. He's showing his products and stuff like that. I didn't really get enough education on his products. That's why I didn't buy the machine. Yeah, I bought there to start off. I bought what was it, the 21 millimeter, the 3 inch one he had, and then like the small little, 1 inch, 2 inch one there that everyone has there. I bought those, and then after I just started doing paint correction on like random hoods and stuff like that from scrap yards. And it just
At your
went from
place?
there. Yeah, yeah, my house. Yeah,
Okay.
I would go to like Kenny Upol. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
yeah.
you know what that is. Yeah, and stuff like that. And my dad, he has like a big truck there, so we would take like panels and stuff like that. I just practice on that and learn stuff. But then after, I feel like I didn't learn enough from the school. So I was like, let me go on YouTube because that's how I learned mechanics also. Like I didn't go to school for no mechanics, but I learned all my stuff from mechanics on YouTube and obviously practicing. So I went on YouTube. DIY wasn't like popping at the time. There, they weren't like on the on the internet. I was looking at different people. I forgot their names though. Honestly, it's a long time
Maybe
ago.
Apex.
Yeah,
Ryan
Apex.
from
Yeah,
Apex.
yeah, him. I looked at there. A lot of people there. Even some
Dallas
that
from
aren't.
Pen.
Pardon?
Was it? How is it called? Dallas Pen Correction, maybe?
No, no, I didn't look at that one there.
No.
But Apex, yeah, I remember. Even people that weren't actually detailers. I'm pretty sure you heard of Chris Fix.
Yeah, Chris Fix for sure.
Yeah, yeah. He's not a
Spain.
detailer, but like I looked at his stuff too there when it comes to doing cars and stuff like that. But that what really started like got me going was DIY detail. That's when it really all started when it comes to washing, decontaminating, and everything like that. It started with
And
them.
did you know Ivan before that, or
Nope, I had no idea.
because he's done like trainings locally
Yeah,
everywhere in Quebec? So I was gonna ask you that if you knew him before.
nope. I never met him in person. I
Okay.
I never even messaged him or anything like that. I was coming across YouTube and I seen DIY details, so I just checked it out. Had a bunch of videos, and what I like about them is they give you instructions on everything. That's
Mhm.
what I was looking for. So that's what made me start liking their products a lot more and started off with them. And like I said, the past like 6, 7, or 8 months now with P details with the rotary, which has completely changed the game for me. Uh, yeah, that's basically it. It
So
started off
so
really for my car.
so what did you get from the Pete detailing subscription service? Is it like a one-on-one coaching or it's like a special videos?
Yeah, special videos explaining how to use the rotary, what attachments. He shows a bunch of tricks that he wouldn't show on his actual Instagram account. And I tested it out, what pads to use, what compounds, why we tilt with the rotary, why we don't tilt, what pads, like I said before, what pads to use, all this stuff like that, and why we use the rotary to cut instead of a DA and everything like that. And I tried it, and like I said, it just worked.
Mm-hmm. Is
It
that
just
a
worked.
monthly subscription
Yeah,
or it's
monthly
a one-time
subscription.
fee?
No,
Okay.
it's a monthly subscription. So until I feel like I am perfect, I will keep subscribing. But eventually,
Okay.
I'm not going to want to keep paying every month for the rest of my life there.
And is it like on a Patreon or something like that? What
Pardon?
platform? Yeah, what platform do you see his videos?
On Instagram.
Okay,
Like
but
if you go on the subscription, like if you go, you have the subscription pan aside there. If you go on Instagram, it tells
oh,
you. A lot of detailers do that too.
I didn't know that. So you can
Yeah.
sell like subscription only people that can see those videos?
Exactly. Yeah. If you don't
Okay.
pay, you don't see basically. I know he does it. I know another detailing account on Instagram, Dirty the Dreamy. I looked at his videos too when it comes to paint correction, but he was using the DA a lot. And I was like, I'm not a fan of, I mean, I like the DA for finishing and maybe doing little one steps here or there, but for those tight areas there, I feel like the DA just wobbles and doesn't correct fast. Like it'll correct, but it doesn't correct fast enough like a rotary will, you know what I mean? So when I came
It's a
across him,
slower
like I said,
process.
exactly, yeah. And we all know in detailing business time is money. So I want to get the most correction possible in the fastest way possible. And with the holograms, it's honestly not that bad to finish out.
No.
It's very like depending on the paint system. I actually have pads right here. I'll show you. Depending on the paint system, you can use one of these three pads here to finish out.
Yes. Exactly.
Uh, but this is all the pads I use honestly. The Lake Country, these three
Hmm.
four. That's all I use. I
That's
can
all
go in
you
there
need.
properly. That's all I need. Um, yes,
I very rarely use the black one.
it doesn't happen that often, but I have it there just in case because you never know what type of paint system I come across there. So I kind of keep it in arsenal, but honestly, I barely use it. So it's mainly those three: the blue, the orange, and the lamb's wool there.
Yeah, the orange is so good at finishing.
I know it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's. Oh, I just got a text. I'm just gonna mute that. But yeah, that's basically my system there, and then the compounds too. I used to use the last cut TC.
Yeah.
I mean, I still use it sometimes just to finish the bottle, but now I just use AC 3D AC ACA 500 for
500.
cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have that too. Never been a big fan, man. Maybe I can put it to work more.
I mean, there's that. There's also Koch Chemie H9, the heavy cut
Hmm.
with the red
Hmm.
tag on it. And there's, like I said, the last cut TC. Those are the three ones I would use there. And then I just have gold standard to either finish or do a one step.
So to give the audience like a perspective of what you do mostly like deeper correction. You want to get close to 90,
Perfection.
95 correction. Yeah, close to perfection, right?
Exactly. I try to get that depending on the customer's budget, obviously. If they don't want to pay for, a perfection there, I still try to, but at the same time, I'm not going to spend 2 days on the car if they're not going to pay for the 2 days on the car. You know what I mean? So I do interiors too, but I just don't post it on my social media because everyone does that everywhere. So it's like I feel like I don't need to kind of. I mean, that's just me
Okay.
personally, but I do everything when it comes to detailing, engine bay, all that stuff there.
And do like the regular people for the daily drivers, do they find value in like a deeper correction?
Uh,
How do you attract those kind of customers? If you're still on the fence about ceramic coatings, well, look no further than Clean by Pan 3-year ceramic coating, my favorite ceramic coating for this year. Very easy to use. The performance of these products are out of this world, the best I've seen so far. The hydrophobics are crazy. So go check it out on the houseofrags.com and .ca and use the coupon code DOGMA to save 10%.
I don't suggest a full two-step with a daily driver because kind of your car when you drive, you're just gonna get scratched up by random things anyway, especially if it's a daily driver. So I don't suggest it. If they want it, I'll do it. But I don't suggest that. I usually suggest a paint enhancement on one step. For a
But
guy like who takes his car out on the weekends there, doesn't drive it all the time, I'll suggest him for the more perfection paint correction because the car is not going to be driven that much, and obviously that's probably his prized possession, so he doesn't want it. He wants it to be perfect and doesn't want it scratched up as much. So that's what I try to. That's what I say to my customers.
where's the rotary come in for a one step in your
So I'm gonna
instance?
explain that. So basically, it's for me personally, it all depends on how scratched up the paint is. So, from experience, if the paint is like lightly scratched, I won't even use the rotary. I'll just use the DA. If it's very scratched and it's like I'm noticing I'm not getting a lot of cut, I'll do one pass with the rotary and then finish with the DA quick. Yes, it adds a little bit of time there, but I can get more cut for the customer and still finish down the same way. It adds a little bit of time, it does, but it's not that bad. I tried it multiple times, it doesn't add that much time, honestly.
Yeah, and I've seen on your posts that sometimes you'll use the same compound or the same polish, cut with a
Ex
rotary, not not
exactly.
not wiping it off, and then use your DA over it.
Yeah,
That's a
well,
good one.
I will add more product and then I'll finish over it, yeah, and I get results like that. That either works with 3D1 or gold standard polish.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah,
And sometimes you can, if you want to do that, in my experience, I would focus more time on like on the hood, on the top surfaces, maybe
exactly,
above
yeah.
what I usually say is above the door handles. And then the lower parts, you can maybe do it a little quicker to adjust yourself for the customer's budget. But that's
Exactly, yeah. Where they
all
can
of
see
those are,
most, that's
go
where I
ahead.
try to where they see most is that's what you're saying, that's where I try to, attack the more defects. Because the hood especially, that's what's most scratched up. There on the doors too, and the handles where people grab all the time. Every car I've done, there's just so many scratches there, I'm just wow.
Yes. So the online community doesn't really like when we talk about those little things, but those are the things that they're gonna get better results for your customer, and they're
Yeah,
not gonna notice at the bottom. You're not skipping the bottom parts. It's just that you're try to go a little bit faster and provide better value for your customer budget.
exactly, that's the whole that's what I'm trying to do when I mean by using the rotary also. But at the same time, I'm not gonna do a two-step on the door when I haven't been paid for a two-step, you know what I
No,
mean?
no, no,
So
no.
so, that's
Because
that go
you
ahead.
have to be you have to be realistic with the daily drivers people. They don't see the value. They don't want to give you. They don't want to spend like 900 1200
Nope.
for you to polish the car to a perfection. And like you said, they don't have any knowledge. They're gonna wash the car a couple times, and they
That's it.
probably gonna introduce swirls again.
Yeah, but that's the thing with me though, because after I'm done a car, I give customers two choices. It's either I come and maintain it, or I teach you how to maintain it. Uh, some people, they like washing their own cars, so because it's gonna suck if I just do the whole car and they pay me, example, 1,000 or $900, and then they wash the car next week or 2 weeks from now, and they scratch the whole thing up. It's kind of like they wasted their money. You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of like I go back and I teach them and I get them on products and I say, this is what you have to do, what you don't do. And if you don't do this, you're gonna scratch the car. If you do this, you are gonna scratch the car. You know what I mean? So it's like I try. That's the customer service that I bring to my customers. And like I said, I tell them, don't go to a car wash. Please don't avoid it all possible. Please stay away from there. You're better off not washing your car, to be honest,
Yeah,
in my opinion, because you're basically paying them to damage your car. That's all you're doing.
yeah. But I tried that before. I tried your way before, but now I try to get the feel for the customer because I know there's some customer what you can tell whatever you have to maintain the car, they're not gonna do it. They're too busy or they have like 6 kids or whatever. They're not gonna do it. So and here in Quebec, people are gonna use the brushes to uh,
Uh,
to clean off the
yeah.
snow and winter.
I
That's a
I tell them I tell them don't even touch it unless it's like this high. Knock off half when you drive it, all just fly off. Like just,
yeah,
or I recommend the one at they sell that Rona, Home Depot, and Canadian Tire. You know the rubber one there. At least get that one. I mean, yes, it can still scratch the paint, but it's like it's better than the stiff brush.
yeah,
It's
that's the
like
foam one
yeah, the foam one. It's like $37. It is a little bit expensive, but
because
I
there's gonna
reckon
be dirt also under the snow. So
exactly
yeah, I'm like you. I tell them to stop before the paint.
exactly.
Like
Just
knock off the top, and the rest gonna melt or fly off,
whatever.
like you
Yeah,
said.
just least contact with the paint as much as possible, unless you're washing the car. That's what I try to tell them. Because the results like that can last a long time, but it all depends on you. If you pay me to do a two-step paint correction, your paint's 90 plus correction, and then you're going around with a winter brush all over the car, well, forget it. It's going back to the way it was. You know what I mean? So the results
So
depend on the customer, basically.
So would you say that most of your customer now you have like a fairly new business? Do you do advertising? I know that you have a TikTok account. Is it? But I didn't check it. I'm not on TikTok. Is it like? Are you bigger on TikTok? Is what I mean.
No, I just made the TikTok like 4 months ago. I'm not really a social media. I just got into social media.
Okay.
Like the Instagram I've had for like I want to say like 2 years. TikTok I just made, but it's basically the same thing because some people have TikTok, some people don't have TikTok, some people have Instagram, sometimes they don't. Even Facebook too, I have that too. Uh, but it's all the same thing. All the stuff posted are all the same stuff. But again, some people don't have certain social media accounts, so
Hmm.
that's why I have all three there. But it's the same stuff posted.
But how do you engage with new customers these days, especially in the coming now in the winter?
Yeah. So basically, what I do is actually old school. I go knock on doors.
Oh, really?
I knock
Wow,
on
man.
doors. I go and talk. I approach people. I talk to them. I have my parents reach out to people too sometimes. I like that. I mean, because I'm gonna make like an actual Google account and stuff like that very soon and everything like that. Because how I get my customers, I just talk to them and I explain to them. That's how I get my customers. Or from, like I said, I do it someone's car, they like it, and they tell the other people, and I do that person's car, and that person tells that person, and that person tells that person. It kind of spreads around, you know what I mean? That's how I've gotten all my customers. It hasn't been from ads or anything like that. I just approach people.
Yeah, you do great work. So
Yeah.
it's that's the thing when you're gonna get at some point a customer that is well connected, and like you said, the word to mouth. I've seen you've done a couple Porsches, like the green one is really nice.
Yeah, that one.
It,
That guy actually, I seen him. He was actually at a McDonald's. I just
oh,
went up
really?
to him. I just went up to him and I talked to him, and he was like, "Oh, for real, you do that?" I said, "Yeah, check out my Instagram, stuff like that." And
And he
he
trusted
messaged
you.
me. He trusted me. Yeah, I was very surprised, honestly. And I went to his house. I did his car, and then that was it. Then he told his friends, and I did his other friend's car there. And then the old school Porsche I did actually. That one, I think it was a 1985, the red one there on my Instagram. That one I did there. Him, I seen. I didn't even know he had the Porsche. I just seen a BMW X3 out there. I just went and knocked on the door, and he said he had this car and that car. And I was like, "Oh, you have that car?" And he's like, "Yeah." So then after he called me a week later, wanted me to do that, and he had two other cars he wanted me to do because he liked what I did to the other one. And now he has another car ready for me in April to do. So it's like he's giving me all his cars. His
Yeah,
neighbor liked what I did too, so his neighbor's gonna call me in April too. All that it's word of mouth. That's how I get known. Like you can't look me up on Google if nothing's gonna pop up. Nothing's gonna pop up, but I'm working on that though.
okay,
Like I said, I'm still new to everything there. I'm not sure how everything works, so
that's cool, man.
I'm
So you
getting
want to
tips from
knock on
other
his
people.
door
Yeah,
at
that's
his
what that's what
place?
that's how I get people. I just approached him, and I'm a shy person, so it's like approaching people at the beginning. I was scared. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, and my girlfriend told me to do it because you only get one life. Just YOLO is what they say there. Just go and do it, man. And the worst they can say is no. They're not gonna throw a bat at you or something.
Yeah,
So I did, and that's really how I got all my customers. And the cars where I do now, I do them in a garage. It's actually at Detail Lab.
Yeah.
So basically, he rents it out, and I just go there and I do the cars there when in the winter time there. It's obviously not as busy as springtime and summertime, but that's where I do my cars now. I even suggest to customers too, if you want, a more in-depth correction, it's gonna take more time because I'm not trying to be outside at, 11 o'clock at night getting attacked by mosquitoes in the summertime. I tell them at least bring the car there because some customers don't have garages. So I'm forced
Hmm.
to do it outside. But I'm like, if you really want a correction done really well there, and you want your coating to cure overnight in the garage, which is always better, I tell them you can bring the car there.
Yeah. And charge them a fee, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I charge them the fee there, and then I bring the car there, and I just do the work there. And I personally, I like working more in the garage and outside after doing both. I definitely like it more, hundred
Yeah,
percent.
I've seen that you've been to the detail lab. So for the people at home, the detail lab is the chemical detailing chemical brand in
Yeah,
locally here.
yeah.
But so you're renting his garage to do the details for the customer that don't have a garage.
Exactly, yeah. If they have a garage, I'll do that at your garage. Like the Porsche I did not too long ago, he had a garage, I did it there. It was a really tight garage there. I didn't like it, but
Mm.
I still made it work
Yeah.
there.
Well, you
Yeah,
I've done a ton of cars outside and small garages. It's
yeah,
not going to be as good, but if it's like a $400 or $500 job, or I don't know, like a quick one step,
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
you can do that outside. You're not going
Exactly,
to
yeah,
raise the panel temperature with like a foam pad. You could, but
exactly.
I mean, if you're working smart, you'll be fine outside.
Yeah, exactly. You have to know what you're doing, basically. Like me,
Especially with,
what? Oh,
sorry, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, you go first.
I was saying, especially with the product like 3D1 or Gold Standard, they work really nice in the hot sun. No problem there.
Exactly.
You
What
find
I try
shade
to
area around the house.
exactly what I try to do is I move the car around a bit. Like,
Hmm.
like I get in the car reverse, throw it. I try to avoid the sunlight if I can. If I can, it's something I can do. Uh, I try to avoid. I move the car around a bit, because obviously the sun's not good there. But with those products you mentioned, which I both use, they're perfect in the sun.
Yeah,
But again, you have to just work smarter.
exactly, exactly. So it's another thing that you're not gonna hear too much on the YouTube videos, or it's not popular to say that you can correct paint outside,
Of
or you
course you
can.
can. Of course you
But
can.
that's
A lot of people don't say it though. They want the garage. I mean, the garage is better, 110%. Like I
yeah,
agree, but you can still do it outside.
of course. All right, so now I want to move on to. So I was gonna ask if you're full time or part time. Right now, you're just finding your way into the
E-
business.
exactly. Yeah. So I'm just finding my way into
And
business.
what's your plan for the winter now that we have snow and ice and yesterday was minus 16 Celsius?
Yeah, I'm not washing no cars in that weather. Right now, I'm actually working at a dealership right now, just for the time being. And as soon as spring comes around, I just leave. It's just so I have something to do and not
Hmm.
just sit around do nothing. But let's say I do have a customer. Let's say a customer calls me tomorrow saying, "Hey, I want a paint correction done." Uh, then I'll say, "Hey, bring it at Detail Lab," and I'll do it. And I'll just take the day off at dealership and go work there and do
That's a
my
good
job.
plan, man. You
Yeah,
work,
exactly. Yeah.
you're smart and you work hard, and
Oh, for
it
sure.
sounds
Yeah.
like you have good common sense and you want to go full tilt in
Oh,
detailing.
for sure, yeah. I love it. Honestly, this the satisfaction in the customer's face is always what makes me so happy because like I do their card and they're like, wow, I can't believe this.
Um, so what's your favorite package when it comes to your offerings? I've seen you on your IG, like polishing for 14 hours. Sometimes it seems like it's quicker job. So which one would you say that you're like, yes, you choose that package? That's the one I like to do the most.
The one step, two step with a ceramic coat, and that's my favorite one because like I said, just the results speak for themselves. You see it too there with the heavy cutting and stuff like that, whatever there. Because yes, it does pay more, but it's like the results. Like even a normal Honda Civic that I did on my Instagram, there was like actually someone I know I went to school with a while back. He seen my videos and he wanted me to do his car, and I did it, and he couldn't believe it. And literally the first day he drove the car, he went to a McDonald's or Subway, I think it was, and Subway he got like three compliments from people. Like, whoa, the car looks brand new. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's only like a 20, I think it was a 2017 or 2018 Civic there. And He said he texted me like three compliments from people saying the car looks amazing, this and that, and that's my favorite package, honestly.
So that's like your 1.5 steps.
I call it a like I call it a one step, but because I use the rotary, it's a one step and a half.
Okay.
Because I try to implement the rotary as much as I can in certain areas. Because like I said, the DA is not going to get in those areas and do good job there to cut compared to the rotary. So, but that's my favorite package, honestly. The one step slash two step there.
Okay. Like the quick 2 step. Okay. And when you
Yeah,
get, and when you're at the point that to do the trunk, you're gonna switch your extension there and go with a smaller
a
fag.
three exactly the 3 inch there on the rotary. Yeah, if the 5 inch can't get in there, I'll switch to the 3 inch and get in there. And then honestly, with the DA, if the Milwaukee 50 millimeter throw can get in there and finish out the hologram, which I've done plenty of times, it does.
Yeah.
It works. I don't like ever since I subscribed to the Details guide, I really haven't used my Flex PX80 there that much, to be honest. And I still use it, yes, for little touch ups. Like it's good to have, honestly, on the side there. I have it for little touch ups. So if I leave like a high spot by accident and they're already dried, I come there, which quick, remove it, reapply the coating there, stuff like that. It's very good. But honestly, when it comes to like real paint correction, to get in those areas, I just use the rotary and like I said, the 50 millimeter gets right. And even if it stalls, it doesn't matter. It's light holograms and light little swirls that the DA will finish out, no problems.
And to get back to the dealership, what do they
Yeah.
have mostly for you? You do polishing
Uh,
there, or
I told them no because they're not going to pay me what I'm worth, so I just do the washing and the
okay?
preparation. I'm not polishing at all.
You prep new cars, or you're like reconditioning old
Yeah,
cars?
both basically.
Okay, whatever they have on that day.
Yeah, exactly. I just do it. But I told them to polish, you have to give me this certain amount, and they didn't like that. So I said, okay, I just won't do that, but I'll do this though for that amount that you're giving me.
Yeah, they don't put enough care on the paint, right?
Oh
They
no, it's
don't.
horrible. When I the last dealership that I worked at before starting this was actually Mercedes Benz, and that's when I was doing real paint correction. That's when I was learning the DIY system there. So we had like a G wagon to do, and the guy wanted it done in 3 hours. It was heavily caked as well. So I was like, that's impossible. I was like, what? Like a G wagon? Like that's impossible. That's gonna take at least a day, maybe two, because I'm
So
not
explain why
staying.
those are super hard.
Oh, PERS, it's tight areas. It's a pain. And like I
Gaps
said, that's
everywhere. Door
part. Yeah,
hinges.
exactly. It's horrible. I will never do one again. Honestly, I don't like those. That in a Jeep. I did a Jeep last summer. That was a pain. They're annoying. I'm not a fan of
They're the
those.
worst.
Yeah, they're worse. It's like you have to charge double just for those because they're so bad to do.
Yeah, exactly, and a lot of tape.
Yeah,
And
honestly, a lot
it's
of tape.
what did you end up doing with the G wagon there?
Oh, we did it, but we only because the paint was it's hard clear coat German cars, so it's like uh we did the hood and then we did like the fender side, and it's been 3 hours, but it's because we made it perfect. He's like, "Oh, the customers wants to pick it up today," and I was like, "Sir, it's impossible." Unless everyone working downstairs can come help me, it's literally impossible. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's not happening if you want it perfect. You just want it polished quick, shine, you don't care about the defects. Sure, I can finish that out. I'll just, quick, boom, done. Yeah, but you're talking about the defects of scratches. I'm like, there's some scratches that need wet sanding at that point too,
Hmm.
because they're so deep. And then it started like a whole argument, and then I was just that's when I realized is like they don't value you enough. I was like, that's when I was like, I don't belong here, man, because they detailing takes time. You have to have a lot of patience with doing it, especially paint correction. And not a lot of people know that. I've had people tell me that, oh, I want my car done in this day off a two step. I'm like, that's impossible.
Hmm.
It's gonna take multiple days, depending on how bad it is. It could take 3 days, depending on the car too. It all depends. But I tell them if it's a sedan, leave the car with me for 2 days if you want a two step. Me, I work crazy, so I'll like spend 10 hours on a car, 12 hours a day on the car, so it doesn't bother me. Some people only spend like 6 hours and they got something else to do, you know what I mean? But it all depends, honestly. And like I said, the dealerships they don't value enough there.
No, they don't.
No, for
Especially
sure.
after the car bubble, they stop investing so much time in reconditioning the cars properly. Even the interior, they're
Oh, it's
neglecting
horrible.
so bad.
Even the products they use, they're not good.
No,
So
they're so cheap. It's
yeah,
insane, man. These guys are. I
and the
call
thing is,
them.
people. Yeah, sorry, go.
No, go ahead.
No, I want to say what you're saying. I was gonna
That
probably fall
that
back on it.
they're so they're so cash grab.
Oh,
I've
it's
seen
really.
I have a guy that just came in with a BMW 2022, almost brand new. It's like 10,000 kilometers. The wheels were resprayed. They're gloss black. They were resprayed, and there's a ton of dirt under the paint. So they did not prep the wheels properly. They did not even remove the tire from the wheel. So they taped up the tire, and you can see there's ton of overspray, but it's not even. And they skipped a barrel. Horrible, horrible. They have the touch ups on the D pillar.
Yeah,
There's they
it's
there's something
bad there,
something
right?
fell on the car. Yeah, something fell on the car. There's like not a dent, but there's a big paint chip, and
Yeah.
they filled that not so good. And I don't know, man. They don't really put care. They I guess they expect the customer to not see anything, and when they leave, it's too late.
It actually happened to my mom when she bought a Lexus. It was like I think a couple years ago. Because me, I brought my paint measuring gauge there, and it tells me if a panel's been repainted or not. Too much body filler. I think you probably know what I'm talking about. I forgot the name of it. It's like a blue one there. It connects to your phone on Bluetooth.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't have that one. I have a cheap
Yeah,
Amazon one.
yeah. I got like I probably wouldn't need that, but it helped me out in that situation. But the cheap ones work perfectly fine too. But basically, I went to the dealership with my mom to buy, but I brought that just in case. They said the car was never been crash damaged, and me, I don't trust no one. But me, my eyes when it comes to these things, I see everything. Like I see everything. So I was like, well, that panel don't match that panel. Because at first I asked them to bring it out in the sun. They said no. I was like, why not? It's like, well, we can't bring it out. I was like, well, I want to see the car in the sun because the sun tells all. I don't trust your little lights, little flashlights you guys have there. They're not even the good ones, like a scan grip or something, you know? So it's like, bring it outside. So we brought it outside. It was a black one. I couldn't believe it. The
Oh.
the 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 fender and door nowhere near the same color as the back door and the rear corner. I was like, "What?" And they said in the system that it hasn't been repainted or anything like that. I didn't even need to take my thing. I just seen it right there. I'm like, "No, we're not getting that. That's not happening." And they're like, "Oh, it's never been repainted." I'm like, "It clearly has. That's not factory, you know." And then they try to sell some ceramic coating thing there. It was like $2,000. Like, no, we're not doing that. I do that. I could do it for her car. And actually, I'm not gonna name the dealership I worked at where they did that, but basically they did the same thing where they tried to sell you a ceramic thing, but it was a spray-on sealant. It wasn't. I,
Hmm.
I actually applied it, but I couldn't do anything and say anything because I was working there at the time. I didn't want to get fired. But they sold it to like for like almost $2,000 to a customer. Like we did the paint correction and everything, but the ceramic coating was a little spray sealant thing there. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. So back to what you're saying about the cash grab, it's bad. A lot of people pay for it and they trust the dealership. And it's like, wow, you know what I mean? They shouldn't be doing things like that.
No, they're almost scammers, pretty much, for the
Oh,
most
for
part.
sure. I tell
They're
people the only thing you should do is just buy the car and leave. Nothing else. Anything they have to offer you, say no, no, no. That's it. Nothing else. Just buy and leave. Don't go back ever unless it's extended warranty and it's free. And I mean free. I mean free, free. Don't go back there
no.
because it's just scams. Whether it's mechanics or detailing, they're definitely don't go there for detailing because the people there don't care. I'm gonna be honest with you too. I didn't perform my best there because I know they just, oh, do it quick, do it quick, do it quick, you know, because they're up here behind to get things done quick when you know it's going to take so long. So it's like we kind of half-ass pardon my language,
Yeah,
half-ass the jobs there because of the time schedule they give us. You know what I mean? So
it's not your fault. So you have like a time frame to accomplish a certain job.
yeah, exactly. So they say they want to in and out deep clean in 1 hour. I was like, what? How is that even possible? Like, unless there's two guys, maybe you could probably get away with two. Not even actually a deep clean. The interior, every interior we got was like destroyed for some reason. But it's impossible for it to be done in 1 hour.
If you've been looking at the pre-wash products on the market, well, recently I've been enjoying Labo Cosmetica Primus 2.0. You can find it on the houseofrags.com and use the coupon code Dogma to save 10%. So what would be your priority if you have that short amount of time?
I want to see the interior because most people don't see squirrels like how we see squirrels. So
Hmm.
when I want to buy a car, I want to make sure the interior is clean. I don't want to get into a car just salt stains, baby vomit or whatever on it. So I prioritize the interior first. I mean, yeah, I wash the exterior and stuff like that, but it's like no one's gonna see contaminants on the paint unless you really look, unless it's a white car where you see the orange dots everywhere or like tar residue or whatever that's dried up there. But I try to prioritize the interior first when I'm there because that's what they mainly care about, because that's what a customer cares about too, honestly, because again, they don't see the stuff that we see as detailers.
The detail department is outsourced most of the time. It's
Yeah,
like it's another business into the dealer's business.
exactly. Yeah. So it's like they make money off of that.
Yeah, so that's why they have such a high margin. Plus, they outsource the work. So that's crazy.
I try to get them to get me to get me some rinseless wash, but they won't do it. Because I use the DIY rinseless a lot there, even for interiors. Like I love that; it's amazing. But they just won't buy it, so I'm using some cheap. I don't even know the brand. And it leaves like a glossy finish on the leather. It's disgusting. I don't like it, but
Oh,
it's not. It's cheap. I'm just like, it's just for now. Get them. Just relax. It's just for now.
yeah.
Just you're gonna leave soon. Don't worry. So you don't stay at home
Shut
and do nothing.
you have to shut the your brain off.
Yeah.
But
Even. Oh, sorry. Go.
do you bring your DIY rinseless there? Is that
Nope,
what you
no,
said? No,
they're
no,
not.
no, no,
No,
no.
no, no, they're not paying for that. That stays home. I use it for my personal use and my business.
Okay.
I don't bring any of my stuff there. They told me to bring my machine one time because theirs broke with some cheap Amazon one. I was like, nope, I'm not bringing it. You buy one. I'm not bringing my
Aye.
equipment there. Even with, I told them too, because they wanted us to decontaminate the car because they felt the paint and it was very rough. I'm like, yeah, I need to decontaminate it. And then they're like, "Okay, we'll get you clay bars." I was like, "Well, I'm not polishing after, so it's like you're better off getting a clay towel." They're like, "No, only clay bars, no clay towel." I was like, "Well, it's gonna leave marring in the paint, so it's okay." I'm like, "Okay." I'm just like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah, they're picky on the interiors, but for the exterior, they don't
Bro,
care.
they don't care. The interiors they want good because again, they
People will
hide the
see it.
car. They don't put good lighting. The lighting when they show the car off, it's not good lighting, and it's only when they drive off is when a customer really notice in the sun time, especially now winter the roads. As soon as the car's clean, they drive off. All the stuff's gonna kick on it. They can't see nothing. So when springtime comes around, it's already too late. You already bought the car. You made your payments already. So it's like you had to find a detailer now to fix all those mistakes that were left there by the dealership or
Yeah.
prior to the dealership.
And you see the dealers ad, they have girls sitting on the cars.
What
They're
do you mean
scratching
sitting?
well, they have like they do like advertisement, and they have
Oh,
sometimes
that
you'll see like 5 or 6 people sitting on the car.
that I hate that. I see that all the time on social media. I'm like, why are people touching the paint?
Yeah.
Like that's how you scratch the cars. Like when I tell everyone when I do a correction, I tell people straight up, I'm like, again, do not touch the paint unless you're washing it. Like me, how I close my doors is because I don't have those gloss pillars. So I kind of just reach in, where how to explain, where the rubber seals are on the door.
Yeah.
You can kind of like close it in like that. I tell them to close it like that. If it's plastic, you can touch it, whatever. You can touch your glass too. Who cares? It's not gonna scratch your glass, so you can just wipe it off. But especially the pillars there, do not touch those at all. Like
No.
they'll scratch instantly like that. But for results to last a long time, you just basically don't lean on it. Don't park near people. Just you walking by with your pants and the car's dirty and you brush by it. Guess what? You scratch the car. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I try to implement that to people, to all the customers, and tell them straight up, like when I mean don't touch the paint, I really mean it. Like I know it sounds crazy and a lot of stuff, but it's like that's unfortunately the way it is with paint. If you want these results to last a very, very long time, you got to do these things. If not, it's going to re-scratch back up. And then you're going to get mad and be like, oh, I wasted my money paying corrections. I wasted money. No, it's not. It's how you take care of the car. Because I did my Civic Si 2 years ago. I applied CarPro. What's it called?
UK.
Yeah, UK. That's when I was just starting. This is actually way before DIY detail. Because I was using the DA, it took a lot longer to do paint correction. So I made it 95% good. And then after it lasted up until this summer. Like there's still no scratches, but I took off that coating to put C6 Hydrolite because I heard, with DIY stuff like that. So I put that on my car. But when I did the polish, it took me like 2 hours, not even. There's maybe one or two lines that were there. but it was a quick polish. But those results that I did from 2 years ago still last, and I wash my car kind of like Panda Organizer twice a week,
Mm-hmm.
and no marring, nothing in the paint. I follow the steps there. I use rinseless. Pre-treat, rinse, pre-treat again, contact wash. I use drying aids too and stuff like that. At first, I was using Bead Maker, but the dust, and then DIY actually came out with C6 Mist. I like that. It's amazing. I find it's a little pricey. But I actually seen one of your recent videos of Armor Detail Supply. I think it's amplified. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that one on a car there because again, it's a little pricey. C6 Mist. Like, I don't believe in ceramic gloss using that as a drying aid because it's kind of like. I mean, yes, it works, but it's kind of like a sealant. So it's kind of like you're putting a sealant on top of your ceramic, and I don't personally like that there. So.
Yeah, that's good. What color is your? So you still have that Civic as a daily driver now?
No, no, it's not a daily driver. It actually goes away in the winter. I have two cars actually.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's currently in the garage right now. I don't drive in the winter because plenty of modifications on it.
It's too
I've
low.
too low suspension. Everything you can do on that car except for building the motor and transmission, I've done. So it has a big turbo on it. I
Oh
actually have
shit.
the pieces. Yeah, it has like almost. I think I'm pushing like 393 to the wheels. Uh,
Yeah,
and the transmission part I actually have actually right there. I'm putting that in this spring when I take the car out. My tuners are gonna do all that and everything like that. Next up is the motor. I don't know when I'm doing that. 'Cause it's very expensive. But those motors can handle 500 wheels, so I'm not worried about it blowing up. And I don't daily drive it like that. I drive it sometimes, not all the time. Like it has low kilometers. Like for a year, it only has like 70,000 kilometers for 2015. Like the guy before me actually got it in Nova Scotia. Like he was in Nova Scotia with it, and that's when I went to get it. When I was
mhm.
looking online, I couldn't find any clean Civic SIs there, two-door black. They're either all rusted out or paint faded. Typical Honda paint there, paint faded. So I found him in Nova Scotia and actually went there and got it and then drove back.
So Jalam, you're a real car guy.
Oh yeah,
Eh,
yeah, yeah.
Detailing and big
Every single
turbos.
car is everything. I didn't install the turbo kit because I had no idea what I'm doing, so I paid my tuner. That's the only other person that worked on the car. All the suspension stuff, the bushings, the changing the clutch, everything like that. I did all by myself. Just
That's
looking on
cool.
YouTube.
Is it white?
No, it's black. So you
It's
see everything.
black.
And you see everything.
Okay. Okay.
You see everything. But there's nothing there, so I can prove it. Well, not now, but I
So
can
what
prove
your
it on the
maintenance
car.
process that you mentioned earlier? You pre-treat with the rinseless, you rinse with a pressure washer,
Yep.
and
And
you
I
apply.
reapplied it. And then I contact wash with the legacy sponge, and then I haven't used Amplify yet, but at the time I was using Bead Maker and what's it called, C6 Mist.
Yeah, so I have C6 Mist. The first time I tried it with Ivan, I really enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. Where were we?
Oh, C6 Mist. You said you tried
Yeah,
it, and you said something you didn't get to finish.
yeah. So I tried it a couple more times, and I cannot get it to not streak. Like it's
Same
not gonna
here.
streak all over the car, but there's gonna be streaks in here and there on my
That
blue
that that
car.
that's what I noticed too, because I used it. I was like, that's weird. You know, I'm following what Ivan said. Like that. Literally one spray per pound, maybe two, depending on because my doors are longer on my coupe there, because it's a coupe. I do like one long spray on the top, one long spray at the bottom, and I go. I'm like, that's weird. I kind of like have to go touch it up with like a towel around the car sometimes. There's a little bit of streaks there. It's not crazy, but I do notice the streaks what you're talking about. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
it's
excited to try Amplified there.
yeah, it's not too bad. It's like a little high spots. If you don't have the eye, you're not gonna see it.
Yeah.
But it's very very slick. So I'll talk about Ivan. Actually, Ivan is coming here in January, so I'll
Okay.
talk to him about it. They might do like a version 2 or
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Ivan on the podcast, and he's gonna clear that up for us. So what coating do you prefer between? So you mentioned that you were a big fan of the DIY products. You are
Yeah.
using the coatings as well.
Yeah.
So I have two questions. Let me start with the first one. So Which one between the 3, 5, and 8 years you prefer the most, and explain me why.
Mm, I'm not a fan of the 3-year one. I find it's weaker, in my opinion. I coated a car like 2 years ago, but that could be the customer too. It's kept outside all the time. You know how ceramic coatings are. Sometimes you keep it outside. It all depends on if you garage keep it or not, daily driver, stuff like that. But honestly, my favorite one would be the 5-year. Out of all
Okay.
of them, the 5-year. Out of all their ceramic coatings, I never tried the professional one because I'm not, I haven't, I'm not a C6, whatever it's called there. I forgot what they
Certified.
certified there. So I'm gonna try C6 Hydrolite. That thing is amazing. It is pricey though, but it's amazing.
Yeah, this is where I
But
want to get to. So before we get to C6, I Hydrolite. So I've used the 3 year a lot. It's super easy to use. I don't
yeah,
know in the long run how it's gonna hold up. I've seen a few videos on junk panel where it seems to be struggling after a year or two, maybe a year living outside. But the
yeah,
chemical resistance, if you've seen my video on the test
I
panel,
seen it. Yeah,
the,
it's
the chemical
insane.
resistance, it's insane. Yeah, I could
Yeah,
only I could not take it off, but only weaken it a little bit with paint thinner.
yeah.
And then the 5 year, I really enjoyed the 5 year, and the 8 year. What the thing happened is I lost the applicator, like
Hmm.
the red applicator. Actually, it felt on the ground, so I threw it away, and I applied the 8 year with the regular rectangle
Yeah, everyone uses that,
pad.
the old school one
Yeah,
there.
with
Yeah.
the suede, and I did not like the experience. Do you have
No.
any issue with the 8 year?
I've only used it with the applicator pad.
And it worked great.
Um, Yeah, no problems applying it. I did notice on because I did a decontamination wash on my mom's car before winter. I applied the 8-year like I want to say almost 2 years ago. I want to say year and a half, 2 years ago. I did notice because I'm the one who maintains my parents' cars. I did notice on the bottom there, behind the front wheel and behind the fender
Hmm.
at the door area there, the beating started to go. I even tried water spout remover and everything like that. The whole decontamination thing. It started dying a little bit there. That could have been from my application there, but I doubt it. But I did notice a little bit. It's starting to die off there from the 8-year. I was like, oh, a little strange there. But
Yeah,
okay, I'll just leave it. I'll drive through the winter and see what's up, and then
and
go
on
from
the
there.
the rear bumper as well gets beat up.
Yeah, exactly there too. There too. Yeah, that I mentioned too. The beating is not as strong there anymore too. I don't know what problem is with that there. I have
Well,
looked at other ceramic coatings. Well, I'll get back to C6 Hydrolite. That's still performing amazing on my car. Like no, since day one, like insane beating, everything like that. It's performing amazing. No complaint. But again, it's not daily driven. It does sit outside all the time though, but it's not daily driven and doesn't see winter. So
okay, yeah. So you keep me in touch about it,
yeah,
but uh, but it's like you mentioned, it's very expensive. So you gotta find the right customer for that. I guess
I
on your end, it's on in here in Canada, it's almost $400, right?
no with tax it's like 424. It's very expensive.
So
Yeah.
you need a really high end ticket to apply that.
I found three people, including well, I've used yeah, I found three people that I wanted that coating. I explained it to them there, and it's like basically it's like putting all three of those coatings together. It's like on steroids. That basically that coating there. I found three. I did a Tesla Model Y, was a brand new one. I did a BMW X5. Forgot the last. I did my car. I forgot the last car. I don't remember. I have to check on.
So
I've
were
done a
you
lot of
able
cars
to
there.
do two cars with one bottle?
I actually did three.
Oh, okay.
I did three cars
So
with
the
one
value
bottle.
is not too bad in the end.
No, no, you do like it. I listen to what Ivan says. He's he doesn't make the coatings, but he sells them. So I just follow the instructions. 8 to 10 drops, sometimes 12. He mixes it around there. I didn't notice in the videos, like either between 8 and 12 drops in the first circular
Hmm.
motions, cover, and then every other panel 1 to 2 drops, depending on what the size of the panel. I followed the instructions, and I was able to get three cars out of it. The X5 is a big car too. The Tesla Model Y is another big car, and then you have my car, which is a coupe. So I've done three cars with it. I still have a tiny bit left. Like if you shake the bottle, uh,
They won't come out.
yeah, Well, it will come out, but, like, it's not gonna do anything, it's useless, so I kinda
Oh
just
yeah, it
I keep
depends on the
yeah,
it depends on the bottle and the dropper. From the pans coating, there's like a tiny amount that doesn't drop out.
yeah,
Good. There's like a straw at the top instead of like the DIY dropper. There's like almost no dropper. It just goes out super quick. So you have to be
yeah.
careful.
Yeah, that's why I do the what he does there,
Hmm.
the little job there, because 'cause I'm cheap just like him, so it's like, I don't wanna I see people doing that, I'm like, "Oh, no, I can't do that."
Yeah, when we watch your post, we see that you've got your process nailed really
Yeah,
good, and
yeah.
you're following the Ivan recommendation.
Yeah, I do it in with the instructions. I read the instructions basically. I mean, I'm not reading, I'm watching, but you know what I mean there, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm following what he's saying there because, they didn't make the product, but they sell it, so they know more than me or you know what I mean? So I just follow the instructions and I just go from there.
So so before we start to wrap it up, tell me a little more about your YouTube journey. What other channels are you watching? Do you watch every day detailing content, or you're all over the place?
I watch a lot of detailing. Watch Yourself, Pan the Organizer, DIY Detail, bunch of small channels here. I like to check out the small channels too. Give them a chance to. I don't remember them off the heart, but the big ones like yourself and Pan and DIY, those are like the main ones I watch. And on Instagram, it's just a bunch of stuff there. Um,
Cool.
nothing crazy, but I wanted to ask you a question about the ceramic coatings. So I've noticed, like I said, some coatings, because the reason why I've chosen the DIY ones, because right now I'm mobile. I still kind of have the shop there, a detail lab, but I'm kind of mobile. So
Hmm.
it's like the reason why I've chosen the DIY coatings, because I know some coatings they say you need the 12 hours without water or whatever. And the DIY is just 1 hour. Um, and then I noticed also pans too is the same thing. So I was looking at different coatings because like I said, I noticed a ear kind of like starting to fail in that corner there in the back of the trunk of my mother's car there. So I was looking at pans, I was looking at Cerakote's version 2. I was even checking out Detail Labs one. But again, the whole 12-hour cure thing there when I'm outside, that's the problem with me. So what coatings do you like? What
Ah,
coatings do you prefer?
yeah. So first off, I want to be honest. Never had a coating last more than 2 years for me, even with
For
a
real?
garage. Yeah. So that's why I'm constantly looking for not the next best thing, but so the coating I was using before starting my channel was Gion Mo's Evo.
Yeah,
So I've done a ton of those, and but never on my personal car. So my personal car was like a test panel. It's always
yeah,
been. But the Gion Mo's, I've seen it last more than a year and a half. And before that, I was using G Technics CSL and what's the topper name? CSL and
Kristen Serum Light, I think is what's
yeah,
called.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
But
Serum
there's a
Light or something like that.
topper.
Oh,
Just
okay. I'm not familiar with their products. I heard
yeah,
about it though, but I'm not familiar with them.
just because we're recording, the name it does not come up. But I was using the CSL G Technic. That one doesn't last. Sequartz UK 2.0 didn't last on my. I had an Audi S4 before. Didn't
Yeah.
last a full winter.
Oh, it died.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
very
brutal to
popular.
hear.
Yeah, it's very popular. People love it, but for me, it never worked really good in our weather.
Yeah, because the thing is, that's what I'm trying to look for. A coating that's designed for Canadian winters, because here it's
Yeah.
horrible.
So now, so you're in luck. Right now, I have the Pan 3 year.
Hmm.
So the one of the next videos you'll see it. It's already ready to go. I'm just waiting like to upload once a week only.
Yeah.
So I have the Pan 3 year on most of my car, and then I have the Pro only from Bola Solution, and I have the DIY 3 year. So right now I have the first wash, the first update where I show up the water beading and the performance.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Pan's coating is an animal, man.
Yeah, I know. I was checking it out. I was looking at it. I was like,
Yeah,
is it all hype? Because again, I looked at some of his products. What really, got my eye was the coatings and his soap. Because I know he likes Carpro Reset a lot, and so do I. It's an amazing soap. It is pricey though. So I was looking at his soap, but then I decided to give the Detail Lab soap a chance, and I like that. The origins there, I like that. It's an
Hmm.
amazing. Like the lubrication is insane on that when I was using it. More it has more lubrication than the DIY Detail one. When I did like a test right there, I couldn't believe it. So I have a small bottle there. I'm still looking, testing products here or there. So like the next thing I want to test is pan soap, but the ceramic coatings, I definitely want to try those out because of this whole, 1 hour cure, pH of 1 to 14, I think it was the scale there, rejecting.
Yeah, the
Like that's,
resistance.
yeah, and it's like super thick and it can flex because hot and cold, the coatings they begin to fracture, but with his it flexes a lot. So like that's what I'm interested in too, also. So I might
Yeah,
give that a
so
try, honestly.
yes, so people will see it as hype, but for myself, I would not say things on my videos. I try to have some energy in the video, make it
Yeah,
look good and make it look engaging. But I won't do false claims or pimp up the Pants product because he's my friend. So
exactly. Yeah, so
maybe I won't say publicly, hey, Pants coating is very
it's
very
bad.
nasty. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
bad. But if I say it's good in whatever way I will say it, that's the truth. So
yeah.
we'll test it out this winter. So you'll find the answer by the end of the
That
by
that's
next
what I
spring.
want. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. I want coatings that can survive in the winter because these people with their coatings down in Florida, Texas, California, they don't experience the same thing we do. The salt is bad here. It's very bad. Like
Yeah,
it's dangerous. So it's like it can really take a coating off.
yeah. Over there is just the heat, and
Exactly. Yeah.
here is the humidity and cold, hot, cold, hot.
Exactly. All that plays in the
Mm.
factor with the coating too. So it's
The
like
but honestly, Pan's lineup is all good. Right now, if I could move the camera, I would. But with all the wet weather we have, I have
yeah.
applied his tire shine, and the tire looks super dark still. So we
Yeah, the
haven't
tire
had
shine
the
too.
snow in the last few days, but the road is super dirty. There's salt in the air and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Tire looks super dark compared to like
Exactly.
a Car Pro Pearl. It would have degraded after like a few days just driving. The Star Shine is great. The soap is amazing.
Yeah,
That
that's what I'm saying. I
one,
want to try it.
yeah, the armor detail.
More
Yeah, so
detail?
the armor detail soap and the pan soap, they're pretty similar. Very thin, smells fruity. I love both, man. So I would just switch between the two after every wash. The soap from Detail Lab is great. Smells
Yeah,
good.
I know. It's
And
actually good. Because I was using Incredible Suds before, but I find it too thick. It was annoying. The thickness, I just got tired of this when I ran out. And I was like, okay, maybe give a local, guy a chance there and tried it. And I like it, honestly. It's a lot of lubrication. I didn't
yeah,
really test the cleaning power though. I didn't like I use it, but I don't because when I'm doing a full decon wash there, I'm kind of just washing the car, not really looking and testing products, kind of like what you guys are. Unless it's like a coating or a compound or a polish and stuff like that. Those stuff, yes, because I need them to perform well. But the stuff like that, the cleaning power, I don't really test it, but I'm gonna look into it a little bit more. And if I like it, I'll keep using it. If not, I'll try pans and then go from there.
yeah. Those products I see them more as like a detailer enthusiast product. Like when you wash
Yeah.
your own car.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
have a
Yeah.
car to prep, I would just use basic stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna polish it anyways. It
So who
won't
cares, man?
matter,
Just use
and
a
you're just going through the motion. Meaning like you have to go through the wash to get to your final result, right? So there's no
exactly, yeah.
there's no need there to get like a premium soap, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can use Walmart if you want. Use their whatever, as long as it just gets the dirt off, and you can move on to the decon stage
Yeah,
next year. I mean, so whatever is
th-
good for your wallet, basically. Just
yeah.
just
That's
go with
how
it.
that's how I see it. So Jalem, it's very nice to meet you, my friend.
You too,
Uh,
man. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it, man.
that's my pleasure, and it's nice to talk with a local guy, a local detailer. And
Yeah.
do you have anything to add to our conversation?
Um, I don't know. Oh, learn the
No.
rotary, man. It's very good, man. Learn the rotary, man. I'm telling you.
Awesome.
Gotta try it, man.
And if people want to reach you, where can they find you?
On my Instagram, Jared's Details. That's the best way to reach me.
Okay,
Anytime
I'll
you
I'll
message me, it pops up there.
Okay, I'll link your stuff down below in the description for you guys. So thank you again, Jalem. Thanks for your time, and
Thank
I'll
you.
get you back on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, man, just shoot me a text and then I'll be honored, honestly. I appreciate it. I would love to come back.
Cool, my friend.
This is my first time, by the way, people. Never been on
Yeah.
one before, so this is cool, man. I was a little nervous in the beginning, though. I was like kind of shaking a little bit. I don't know if you could have seen there, but
No, we don't.
the nerves died down a lot more now. So now I'm like cool
That's
there.
You did perfect, my friend.
All right, man. Thank you.